Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Anyway, I'm here at our local tackle shop with my buddy Brian here at Bass Hounds, and I figured it's a rainy day, so what a better time than to sneak down here and give you guys a must-have baits for April. In my opinion, everybody's different, but hey, I'm going to give you guys what's working for me. And Brian back here actually happens to be a bass fisherman himself, and he's going to help us out. What do you think, Brian? Anything working these days? It's kind of all over the place, isn't it? A little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything.
You know, I think I might just start here on this first wall and just go through it. And if I see something that I think is going to work, I'll just let you guys know. So let's turn it around here and get after it. First off, it's no secret. Ken Mall kind of let that one out of the bag. The jig is definitely getting bit this time of year. We've got tons of flooded brush. And it's flippers heaven up here right now. Wouldn't you agree, Brian? It's just flippers heaven. But with this flooded brush, your chatterbait is probably going to end up being king, wouldn't you think?
I would think.
I think chatterbait is going to be a major player, and you have an amazing selection of high dollar and more affordable, but all good ones. There's no junk here. It's really, really good. So your chatterbaits are going to be key players. Of course, the spinnerbait is also going to be something you're going to use this time of year, targeting that flooded brush. We're talking from 6 feet to 2 feet is the areas that I've been kind of concentrating on. But another thing that happens in the spring is your square bills. Your square bills are going to have to be tied on. I'm going to be throwing a lot at you guys because it's just kind of, you just got to show up freaking pretty much with a lot on the boat this time of year.
A lot of rods.
Yeah, a lot of rods, and then you just got to kind of let the fish tell you what's going on, and you just narrow it down from there. So, I mean, we got jigs, we got chatterbaits, we got square bills, we got spinner baits, and then another thing that's still popping is your Kitex. I've got a lot of friends that are catching them on the belly-weighted Kitex, and there's a lot of different baits that will mimic that. You know, I'm catching them on. I'm throwing the Kitex, but I've also got some different baits that I throw with it, and of course, you guys know, no secret, I love that G-Rat Executioner, and I love the Trash Fish, and those are two baits that are absolutely still getting smoked. Now, is that the experience you're having as well, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just, and all of me and Brian, we live in the Oaks and we fish a lot, but we talk to pretty much everybody. Brian's like me. They can't shut us up. We talk to everybody, and everybody's telling us pretty much the same thing. The swim baits are still getting bit, and glide baits. I am getting the followers on the glide baits, but this bite has not turned on super good for me yet, but there's just no way that it's not. Do you agree, Brian? I'm shocked that, that I haven't caught me a donkey on it yet. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm definitely throwing it. Just like I don't want to be the one missing out on it. But you got plenty of terminal tackle. It's all here. All your wide gaps on those swim baits, get your 8/0, but here we go. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Your lipless crankbait is still wearing them out this time of year. You're going to have that tied on as well. Lipless crankbait. Oh, man, there's just so much going on this time of year. One thing that I don't talk about much because it's just, I just convince myself that it's obvious that everybody should know and obvious everybody should do it. But your Cincos, and I love the baby bass color, or your green pumpkin, or, watermelon red. There's just so many colors. What's your favorite color in the spring, Brian?
297s.
290. I knew you'd have some freaking technical answer. What's the 297? Is that like
It's green pumpkin and black flake.
Well, I've heard a lot of professionals say color doesn't matter as long as it's green pumpkin. But up here, another thing, you got your wacky rig Cinco, but your drop shot can just be insanely good this time of year. And there's no surprise, the Margarita Mutilator and the Morning Dawn are my two favorites. If I'm in really clear water, I like fishing that Morning Dawn. And then if I get into the more dark water, the more stained water, I like throwing that Margarita Mutilator. But you can also throw the bigger ones on your shaky head. There's a lot of guys that have pretty much made that technique famous up here, like your Jimmy Reese's and stuff. I know he's won a lot of money with that shaky head with that Margarita Mutilator. But good news is I have bumped into a lot of people this week. I covered a ton of water. I'll be giving you guys a fishing report later, but I have spoken to several people that have gotten frog bites. So show up with your frog tied on, and yes, it is time to start thinking about them buzz baits. So you may not want it on your on your deck at this point, but you definitely want it on your box so when the conditions are right, you can get out there and give it a try. But here we go on your here's what I've been having trouble putting down. I'm catching so many bass right now on this G-Rat Executioner. So, you know, just try to match the hatch when you get up here. Go with your light hitch, your blackfish colors, and you get in that stained water, don't be afraid to go with chartreuse. And I can promise you, pretty much if you show up with those baits, you're locked and loaded and you could have some success. What do you think? Did I miss anything there, Brian? I know some people are still throwing the A-rig. I personally haven't had much success with that, and hopefully I did mention the square bill. I think that's going to be a try. That's going to be one of those baits where you can just burn some bait, especially if you're like me and you don't have forward-facing sonar and you got to have the fish tell on themselves to know they're there. That is an excellent search bait this time of year where you can just burn down through there on those do-nothing banks that have the riprap, and very good chance you can just start loading up on the bucks. But what do you think, Brian?
I was thinking touching on something punching.
Oh, yeah. See, that's why you come down here and you talk to the experts. Flipping is a huge deal right now. And what I like to go with is, your tungstens are hard to beat, but I usually go with, I'm kind of a lightweight when it comes to it. I'm not a hardcore puncher and flipper. So I like to go with the lighter weight. And I use the AKG personally, but the guys that are 1,000 times better than me at flipping go with the straight shanks. But the number one bait that I'm flipping right now is the brush hog. But it's hard to go wrong with anything in a purple or your red flake, but your missile baits, there's just so many options. So just listen to your gut on your flip baits. There's just so many options. Something sounds good, looks good. You know, pay attention to your surroundings. You see something that you think might trigger them. You know, I like baits like the Rage Tails that are going to displace a little bit of water on the fall. That seems to help me out. But hey, we're all a little different, and we all have our strengths. So if you're feeling it, get to flipping it. So what do you think, Brian?
Good to go.
And you'll sell them everything they need, right?
Everything they need.
All right, here we are, folks. So when you get up here to Clearlake Oaks, be sure to sneak in here and say hi to my buddy Brian, and he'll get you on track. So if this don't help you, he's got everybody coming here. Well, you've had 20 people in here today, and every one of them's telling you a story about fishing, and the lake is just all over the place right now. There's people that are catching 1 or 2 fish a day, and there's people up here catching 30 fish a day. So it's all over the board. But bottom line is, every cast can be the bass of a lifetime.
That's right.
So like we like to say, when you get up here, treat people the way you want to be treated, and peace out, baby.